It's always a good idea to have an idea of a title for a video before you start filming. In this case, I have no idea. So thank you so much for clicking on this video in which I plan to add some of these beautiful things and ephemera and travel bits and business cards to my planner. And I thought I would take you along because maybe you also have random things that you would like to add to your journal. Maybe it's a travel journal, maybe it's a planner journal, or whatever it is. Hopefully this will give you some inspiration and maybe we can just hang out together. So maybe I show you first what I have here. I won't include all of these because this is definitely too much to go into my planner. But let me just share the items I have. So this is a sweet little booklet that Maud made for all of us staying with her in the Netherlands recently. If you haven't heard about this before, please check out my Plan With Me August video, which is linked below, where you can see what we did, all the beautiful vintage items I got and everything. So I want to include this. I can't really open it because it has Maud's Wi-Fi codes in here. But I definitely want to keep this in my planner somehow. This was my plane ticket from Vienna to Amsterdam. Of course, I want to keep that. This one here is super, super cute and special. It was created with AI by my dear friend Maureen, who was also on the trip with us. So she created this girl with this bottle, which has inspiration inside. So she said whenever I need inspiration for crafting or for a video, she would have the inspiration from me. How cute is that? I just love this. This here is a beautiful card with this steampunk dragonfly, also created by my dear friend Maureen. Love, love, love this so much. And then she also created this image. I am in awe of this. So this is also created by AI, and it's an image representing Vienna. And this could really be Vienna. I mean, this does not actually exist the way it is here, but with the buildings and the Danube here and everything, it totally could be. So amazing job, Maureen. I am in awe of what you can do with AI, seriously. And I have 2 business cards from the trip. I have 2 like gift bags of little presents I got for my BFF. And of course I asked her if I can keep the packaging because she would have probably thrown it away. This is also part of the packaging, and this is obviously also from the Netherlands from a store. So let's see what I can integrate into my planner here. I would like to put most of these things into July because that's when my trip was. And I think the first thing I want to do is in this double spread. And by the way, I really love this collage. I made this while I was in the Netherlands in Maud's studio. The backgrounds are jelly plate prints that I made there. And I think right in the middle here, I can add an extra page. And I was thinking of this one. With this card, I want to see both the front and the back. And yes, I could just tape it in here with a masking tape or washi tape or something, but I would rather protect it maybe a little bit and put it in one of these acetate pockets from, I think this is from a stencil that I got. So let's add that in here. So I always think that's a great way to add items where you want to see both sides still. I'll keep the flap there so I can take it out if I want to. I probably won't, but just in case. And then this is too long. So let's cut this down. So if you were ever wondering whether your sewing machine can stitch on acetate, here you go. It worked just perfectly. Love that. So I stopped here on the top. It didn't go all the way up so that I could still open this, although I could have actually sewn here and then closed it. It's fine. I really like the look of this actually. It has white thread because that's what was in the machine. And I want to add maybe some more decoration here on the acetate. So I have here my little basket of treasures. A lot of these are die cuts. Maybe I can use something from here, because we also made these in the Netherlands while we were there with die cuts on fabric. Maybe one of these butterflies would be cute. Oh yeah, I really like that. What about this one? Yeah, let's take that one. Maybe we can roughen it up a little bit more, make it a little more raggedy. Like that. And then we can also add some white thread underneath. Maybe it can look like she has it in her hair. Oh, that's so cute. Let's do that. So Maureen, sweetie, I hope you approve that she has this huge butterfly in her hair now. Then I also want to add something down here, and I'm going to take one of these sentiments by Studio Light. This has the number JMAESSTIC07. I received a comment on a recent video, particularly about this sticker booklet and how I didn't show the number long enough so that you could actually note it for yourself. My suggestion is to just pause the video or make a screenshot, and that way you will have it. So I think I'm going to take a part of a sentiment. So this one here says, art has the power to transform, to illuminate, to educate, inspire, and motivate. And I think I'm just going to steal this last part here, inspire and motivate, because that's exactly what dear Maureen wanted this card to do for me. So let's add that down here. So then I'll just take some washi. Oh, and I'm totally going to cover up my sewing. Oh, that's such a bummer. Well, can't be helped. I will run this over a glue stick, otherwise it will come off later. So I'll open this so that I don't tape that shut. Okay, so the first item is secured. Very happy with this. So the next thing I want to add is my boarding pass. I'd like to add it in this week because this is actually when I flew to the Netherlands, and maybe I can use this tag because usually I would put my to-dos here, but since I didn't have any because I was in the Netherlands, instead of leaving this blank, why don't I put my boarding pass here? I'll definitely have to cut some of it, but I think that's fine. So let's add some glue on this tag. And then I'll just do it like this, and then yeah, the gate will be cut off, but that's totally fine. Don't need that information anymore. So now I can just cut around this. Do you keep memorabilia like this? I'm assuming if you're a junk journaler, you do. How do you add it to your not your planner, your journal? I would be very curious to see how you do it, or to hear in the comments how you add these kind of things. Yeah, all the important information is here. I have the date and time from where to where. That's all I really need. Let's ink up the edges. What else could we add? I could take one of these paper dolls. This is from a set I got while I was in the Netherlands. And make a very simple collage here so that I won't lose this information, but maybe I can add a little more interest on the background behind her. I have this gorgeous napkin that we received from Maud. She had something wrapped in this, and this makes such beautiful background. I will take my matte gel by Liquitex and just collage some of that on here. Having a matte gel is so good because when you want to collage things like this, for example, on a ticket or something else, you don't have to worry about any shine or that you would see that you have the matte gel on this ticket at all. You don't see it. So if I would do this with something glossy, then of course I would see all the places where I've added it to. So let's find some more for up here. I really like this font here. Let's take some of that. Do you make specific travel journals if you travel someplace? Did you make one especially for your trip? Maybe you went somewhere this summer or you're planning on going somewhere and you're making a specific journal for that. I only did that once in my life for a trip to the US. That was many years ago and I love that journal to bits. That was actually before I really got into junk journaling, but it was still a journal. But I think since then, I haven't really done that. I would rather, like now, I would take the ephemera home and then put it in my current journal or planner or whatever. Is this enough background? I don't know. Let's see if we add her here. No. I think I want maybe a little more color or something. Let's see what we have here. Maybe some neutral tiny pieces. So this is the box for my tiniest scraps. Sometimes it's really great to have scraps organized by size because I never find these tiny pieces if I have them organized in a different way and they're all in one like box or drawer or something, then I never find these. So I love having these tiny ones separately. This is a piece of a vintage book cover. What other treasures do we have? There's a little scrap of some wallpaper. No, I'm at a point in my journey where I don't keep every single little scrap anymore because that would just be way too much. But to have a few of these like special scraps, as you can see, it comes in super handy. Okay, this might actually already be enough. I'm totally covering this up, but maybe I need another strip on this side. This one looks very interesting. So, I'm still covering most of that up, right? I think it needs a little bit more. We have some orange book page. Why not? Love how that is peeking out. Getting there. Yep. I think we got it. So I quickly dried that with my heat gun. I did cover up some of the information, but I can still kind of see. It's Vienna to Amsterdam. It's very interesting, actually. I'm just realizing that now. Why did my matte gel, which is totally transparent, cover up this? It must be the ink that they used, because usually this would not cover up thing. This looks like I used white gesso, which I didn't. Very interesting. Now for this little girl, you see she has flowers in her hands in a little basket. And I want to try to add some of this abandoned coral on top of her flowers. This is also a distress glaze that I got while I was there. So totally makes sense to use it here. So I'm using my Distress embossing pen, which is so good for situations like this one. Let's heat emboss this. Maybe you remember when I showed you this in the Plan With Me August video, I said I shouldn't have taken this color because I only have 6 colors in total and it's very similar to the Candied Apple. And as you can imagine, Louise instantly had to leave me a message saying, these two are nothing alike. And of course she's right, they're 2 totally different colors. But if you only have 6 colors and now I have 2 reds, that's what I meant. I don't know if she understands. Do you understand me or am I totally wrong? So this now turned into a cute pink. I like it. I missed a spot here in the middle, but actually I don't care at all. Should we add a little bit to her cheeks? Let's try that. Since it turns into a pink, it could be cute. It could look horrible. She could end up looking like a clown, but we won't know until we try it, right? So they will not be as red, I think, once I emboss them. Well, they're still pretty prominent. It looks more like she was playing with makeup and didn't know how to use her rouge, right? I'm having fun with it. Okay, so she goes there. Does she need to stand on something? She's kind of floating there, isn't she? Maybe we have a piece here that she could stand on. How about a tea bag label? Those always come in handy. I like it. You know what? This needs a little bit of stamping on it. I was originally thinking of adding some script here, but I think I'll add some of these. Oh, I was gonna add the X's, but I could also add these. Let's take this one. I don't think I've ever used this one. So this is the stamp set by Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz called Mini Media Marks CMS 364. And I think this is such a fun set. It's super versatile. Let's not do that in the planner. Obviously, you don't need a stamp to do this. You could just make these marks with your hand and a pen. But the thing is, I never think of making these marks. So having these as a stamp is just great. How fun is that? Let's glue her on. Look, I'm not even giving her butterfly wings. Although, should I? No, let's have a girl in here without butterfly wings. It is possible. So there's our little ticket collage. I like it. I was going to say this symbolizes me flying to Amsterdam from Vienna, but I think it symbolizes more Maud waiting for me at the airport. This gives more Maud vibes than me. Maud, what do you think? I'm going to leave this thread here on the tea bag label because I think it's fun. So this can go back in here. And of course, this is so much more fun than just having a to-do list on the back, obviously. So next I want to add this beautiful card. It's quite wide. So I think what I want to do is, first of all, I want to add this in my August signature because it's a birthday card and my birthday month is August. So here we're moving into my August signature, where I used my Bohemian Summer digitals. If you are interested in these summer vibes you see here, you can find this kit and the backgrounds without these parts and all the ephemera like you see here, for example, linked below the Plan With Me August video, which as mentioned is linked below this video. So maybe this would be a good page to add this to. So it will stick out a little bit, which doesn't bother me at all. And I think I just want to add this as a belly band. So I will be gluing it here and here, and then we can still open it. There's nothing on the back side, so that's great. But of course, this is a very boring page. So I first want to make some sort of a background here. First, I want to cover the page with this matte medium by Liquitex. And you see, this is matte gel here, and this is matte medium. And the difference is that this one is a lot more liquid. So that's perfect to cover your page so that your mediums can move and so that they don't soak into your page right away. Basically, I'm using this instead of a clear gesso. I also have the Liquitex clear gesso, but it is very coarse. So when you touch it, it's very grainy, very rough, which I don't usually mind. But for today, I'm thinking I want a smooth application. Not that I actually know what I'm going to do next. I will figure that out in the next step. Baby steps. How about I again add some of this gorgeous napkin for the background, because I just need some on the top and on the bottom. And this time I will try that with my matte medium, because I think this will not tear the napkin as much. Of course, I decided this after the matte medium was already dry on my page, so I have to reapply it. Looks like this is working fine. So I think for napkins, this one is better. Let's add some on the bottom as well. Oops. You could, of course, also just stamp with some permanent ink if you want to start off a background. That's what I would do if I wouldn't have this napkin. So once it's dry, let's just cut off the excess. And next I want to grunge up the top and the bottom so that it will fit to this card. I want to definitely use this scorched timber because I got it in the Netherlands. I want to add a little warmer tone. Maybe brushed corduroy would be a good option. So I'm just going to add some paper underneath here because I think this is going to get messy. Then I'm going to spritz some water. I don't really know what I'm doing. I can't do what I just thought I was going to do. I was going to put these in here, but obviously I'm not going to dip my ink pad into the wet paper. That was not very smart. So let's do something else. Let's move these and let's add some here and then add some water. It's kind of hard to dip this. Let's try it. Not as planned. Let's take all these moving parts out. Let's see if we can just dip that in there. Oh yeah. And on the bottom as well. Let's try that. So we have this. This looks pretty yummy already. So let's add some of the brushed corduroy. Do the same thing. This time our paper is dry, so the effect, no, it doesn't really look very much different. But it sits more on top of the other one rather than mixing completely with the scorched timber because I have dried that first. So this is what we have once that has dried. I am really liking this. And now when we hold our card here, I can see that it definitely needs some of these orangey tones. So I'm going to add some rusty hinge. And we also see this beautiful turquoise. So I also want to add some peacock feathers. So let's do the same thing with the rusty hinge. This time maybe not dipping it in as much. We won't see any of this here in the middle. So I think it does need maybe, no, let's leave it because we do have some splatters up there. So we have this now. I love it. Oh, the grunge is just awesome. Oh no, what is happening here? Not to worry. And for the peacock feathers, rather than dipping that in, because it is a very strong color, I'm going to add some splatters. So now when we add our card, it looks like it was always meant to be on this page. So when you want to add a card or ephemera to your journal, just take inspiration from the piece and continue that onto your page, and it will look like everything is done on purpose and there for a reason. So I can still open it and it's all good. I love this page, and even this here fits, which is just the second half of a paper bag, which is now stuck onto my page. Oh no, it's okay. So no idea yet what will happen with this page. You know what, I'm just going to glue this down because otherwise this will get bent. Don't want a steampunk dragonfly with a bent wing now, do we? So this way we have created an extra space to add something. It's too large actually. Well, let me just put this in here for now so that this has a place to live in, but probably this is not the best place to put it, but it's fine. So I hope you enjoyed seeing these 3 ways of adding cards or ephemera to your journal or planner. There's so many unique ways to do that. So we had the card, then we had our plane ticket with this simple collage, and we had this beautiful picture that we added with this acetate pouch. Thank you so much for joining me today. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.